Hello, colonists. Today we are going to interview the comparisons between two very important people. Please welcome Patrick Henry. And King George III. Let's start with their similarities. King George, what similarities in your life and in the habits of the mind do you think you share with Patrick Henry?
Well, I think we were both very famous. I was famous for being the king and having power, and Patrick Henry was famous for solving many cases for the Patriots. And we were similar in the habits of the mind because I believe that we were both persistent. I was persistent in telling everyone that independence was wrong, and he was persistent in telling everyone that independence was right.
Thank you, King George. Patrick Henry, what similarities in your life and in the habit of the mind do you think you share with King George III?
We both had a big amount of loss in our life. For King George, he lost his father when he was 12. And for me, when I was married, 2 years into my marriage, our house burned down. And it was such a while ago, I don't remember, but I believe there were some deaths.
Thank you, Patrick Henry. Now for the differences. King George, what differences between you and Patrick Henry do you have in your life and in the habits of the mind?
Well, Patrick Henry and I had very different lifestyles. I grew up as a king, and I had a very good childhood, while Patrick just grew up as another normal American kid. And we both grew up believing different things. I believed that a king should rule a country, while he believed the people should rule the country. For a habit of the mind, I think that Patrick Henry took a lot more responsible risks because he stood up against me and he could have been killed, but it was responsible because that's what he believed in. But since I was a king, nothing was really a risk to me.
Thank you, King George. Patrick Henry, what differences between you and King George do you have in your life and in the habits of the mind?
Well, we were both I was on the Patriot side, and he was the king. So almost everyone that was Patriot fought against him. And since he was the king, he fought against all of us. And yeah, he was our main enemy, so yeah. I had to listen and understand with empathy to other colonists and other people, such as when I was doing one of my larger cases, I had to listen to different people's opinions and use those opinions to see who was in the wrong.
Thank you, Patrick Henry. Thank you, everyone, for coming and watching King George and Patrick Henry. See you next week.